Gamers have been dreading the release of Metroid Prime Federation Force because what they would really like is some Metroid Dread.
Let's go!
Metroid Dread, an old fabled DS game.
Yes, indeed.
2D side-scrolling Metroid. And this whole debacle that we're about to get into happened back in like 2005. And really, fans haven't stopped talking about it since then.
And this is crazy because, as like a big fan of the series, I actually haven't heard much about this.
No, there isn't much to hear. However, we are going to go over everything we know, and I actually found out some more new things about this game this week. So we'll get into it.
Ooh, fancy.
So this was on an internal list of Nintendo games that were being developed around 2005 to 2006. And what's interesting is every single other game on that list came out. You know, it's like Excite Truck, of course.
Yeah.
Wii Sports, blah, 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 everything going on the DS at that time.
It was what we all wanted, and that is the sequel to Metroid Fusion.
You love Metroid Fusion, right?
Yeah, Metroid Fusion, like, it comes out and it's got a great story, and it's got like this cliffhanger at the end. Ooh. Well, I mean, it's not too much of a cliffhanger because there has to be some sort of closure.
Yes.
But from there, it's like, where do we go?
Metroid games usually leave you with a little tease.
Yeah,
at the end.
sure.
So they'll resolve a lot of things and then like tease. And Federation Force does that as well, by the way.
Oh, I'm sure it does. And Fusion did that.
Yeah.
And we want to know what's going to happen.
Right.
And then what do we get? We get a prequel and we get other stuff.
So this list, it was seen by people. But what was weird is they're like, okay, well, we'll probably hear about it this year's E3. I'm excited. Not at E3 2005. And some of the media was speculating this just got out too early. We'll see this at next year's E3, not at E3 2006.
Nothing.
We didn't hear about Metroid Dread until a little, perhaps, cameo in Prime 3 Corruption. So this is in Prime 3 Corruption. Metroid Project Dread is nearing the final stages of completion. This was like in some scan you could read in the game. So people asked the director of the Prime series about it, and he said, "Oh, that was a coincidence." A coincidence?
Yeah, I don't think so.
I
don't think so.
It's a coincidence that we threw in a random capitalized word. What?
I don't know. This is the time where there was a lot of Metroid games coming out.
Yeah, there was, yeah.
I mean, Metroid Prime 2 was coming out. We had Metroid Prime Pinball, Metroid Prime 3, Metroid Prime Hunters. So it was at that time where we were getting a lot of Metroid games. So that might have been one of the reasons why they kind of stepped back on it. But it's so sad because the other ones, well, I mean, Pinball is Pinball. But you have a bunch of the 3D ones. Yeah. 3 3D games coming out really quick next to each other. And then we're looking for that 2D game that we just still haven't gotten.
Yeah, this was like around when New Super Mario Bros. Was doing great. And as good as Samus did in the transition to 3D, fans, we still want two-dimensional games. And we want, they did a good job turning the series in a new direction, doing something new. But it's important that we get those nostalgic retro treats once in a while as well. So in May of 2010, Craig Harris, he used to work at IGN. He was the Nintendo guy. He said this: the story was complete, and he said that he had seen it.
That's insane.
The story was complete. So there's like some people are saying this game never was a thing. Some people are saying like I saw stuff about it. This was a game. So they asked Mr. Sakamoto about it.
Yeah, and Sakamoto said
he's the overall Metroid series producer.
He's the Metroid dude, and he said that it did exist at what point, but if they were to go back to it and release it, that they'd have to start from scratch, which is depressing.
Yeah.
I mean, that can be exciting, but still, it's like so much time wasted.
There's also something that I dug up, stated by the people that made Prime Hunters, and they said that they saw an early rendition of Dread, and they said it looked like a Port of Fusion running on the DS. So just like very, very Fusion-like.
Wow.
Now here is the information that I teased. So I mentioned Craig Harris. As I saw that at one point he said that he had seen this game. So I just tweeted him and I said, "Is it true that you saw the story of Metroid Dread?" And he said, at E3 2005, he was given a document about Metroid Dread, as if to prepare for a meeting with Nintendo to like see it. Like it was background information on the game and the story, and like at E3. The big outlets like IGN, they get to plan these private meetings.
Oh, sure.
So they get a little handout about the game, and then they go and see it, or they go and play it.
Mm-hmm.
So he got the handout, never saw it, never played it, never had a meeting.
So close! That means that it's like right there.
It was.
That means that he was about to go and actually play this game.
But no one did. I think that Nintendo made a decision at that E3 to pull back and withhold this game for some reason.
Dang.
Maybe someone played it and found a glitch or something. I don't know. I don't know why they would have to start over from scratch. Maybe they just would because it's been so much time.
Yeah, graphics need to improve or whatnot.
So fans really wanted this 2D game for Metroid, and they still do. Do we?
I do.
Okay.
I really do, because I like Super Metroid, I like Metroid Fusion, and they're fantastic games.
Yeah.
I don't know how they could go wrong. Metroid is a fantastic series.
I think Nintendo should go back to 2D for Metroid at least once or twice. It worked for New Super Mario Bros. That game, I think, still sells like hotcakes. At the very least, it was the top-selling DS game. Super Metroid is highly acclaimed, and it's still doing well on Wii U Virtual Console and now new 3DS Virtual Console. So people, that's like, the best game of all time contender.
Yep.
And then it shows the fans that Nintendo is listening, and that's important right now. Fans don't exactly know what's going on with the Metroid series, what's going on with the future platforms of Nintendo. So I think a Metroid announcement, be it a mainline Prime game or a 2D game or both, would be amazing to accompany the NX announcement. And it's not unheard of. We got it was Fusion, right, and Prime that came out on the same day.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, because you could get the Fusion suit in Prime.
Metroid Prime.
So they could be working on both of those. I'd be so happy.
Yeah, and I think we've heard from Nintendo. I don't know how reputable the sources are or how old they are, but that they were working on one 3D Metroid game and one 2D Metroid game.
Oh yeah.
And we got Federation Force. And I don't know if that's the one that they were talking about, but if it is, then
that's good.
It could happen. We just want a sequel to Fusion.
Yeah.
That's what we want.
Yeah. There you go. That's everything that there is to know on Metroid Dread.
Don't forget to comment below what your thoughts are on the subject. Do you guys want to see more 3D Prime games and ditch the 2D because it's old school, or do you guys want the 2D Metroid Prime or Metroid game, whatever?
Yeah, or a 2D Metroid Prime game. You just never know.
Who knows?
I don't know what that would mean exactly. 2.5D?
Yeah, could be. That'd be great.
All right, crew. Thanks for being with us today. We'll see you next time.
Signing out.